I think about my journey through, mental health. I am a mental health counselor. I think about different reasons why I'm one. One of it is how God wires us. I believe He's wired me to be a counselor. But I also know that the experiences I've had, from growing up has also informed me, and maybe that was how God put the desire within me to be a counselor. I remember just as a child struggling with anxiety and struggling. I used to have a lot of panic attacks. In fact, I remember a time I had so much anxiety and panic attack. We were traveling. It was a car ride, and just before we got to our destination, I was so scared we were going to have a car accident. I don't know why I was that scared. And then all the thoughts were just playing in my head. I was so scared. So it started from my mind, but then it affected my body that I was so dysregulated. My heart rate was so dysregulated that I passed out. The next thing I knew, I was in the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for 1 week, and they were trying to find out, does she have asthma? They were trying to check what is the problem. And I knew that it started in my head. The thoughts were going on in my head. I eventually got home, and I still had to deal with different episodes of anxiety and panic attack. I talk about that because it's the relationship that I had with God that pulled me through. Because as a child then, and of course because it was in Nigeria, we didn't know a lot about mental health counselors and things like that. That was in the 80s. I think even in the US then, it wasn't something mainstream. Mental health counseling and psychotherapy was around, but not very embraced. So in Nigeria, it wasn't even a thing. And nobody really thought that was what was happening. For me, that maybe I was going through some mental health challenges, but God knew. And I tried to, and I'm glad that, I knew that I could talk to God. And in my talking to God, in developing that relationship with God, it did help me through those dark times. And, I didn't stop being anxious, but I always brought it before God, and He would calm my mind, help me to walk through just those difficult challenges. So personally to me, every day I know what it is like to have God as a partner to walk through life when it comes to my mind. And I always present that to my clients who have a faith-based approach to life, who are seeking something like that. I'm always letting them know, like, invite God into that part of your life. He can help you, even though I know that, medication and even all the evidence-based psychotherapy can help, but there is that God factor where, you don't have to wait for everything to fail before you come before God. It can be someone that you introduce every day, and He can be right there.